Being it's free, everybody can look at it. We can talk about it. We can debrief. I'm glad it's there for throwing darts at. Some good or some bad. So I think it could make for great discussion points within the curriculum. Hey,
yeah, that's a good. That's a really good idea. I never thought about that, but sometimes it's like you asking me a question, right? And it's probably the same to you. What do you think about that? And you're going, whoa, like even your wife, right? Like, no, there's something wrong here, right? That's not comfortable, right? Does the guy not understand? And I have to go into that every time we branch out and go into, like in the UK, for example, dealing with social services. Our rules are totally different, Barry, because you're dealing with totally different parents, right? These are the things you have to understand. It's not the norm, right? It's not the norm, but it's getting bigger. It's the same as everyone. We got more kids with ADHD. We got more kids now with issues than we've ever had. And now you're getting to the point, not only do I have to get the guy to be able to be a good teacher and passionate and write the workouts and be happy and clappy, right? Dealing with this kid at this end and this kid at this end, different ends of the spectrum, right? And there's no way a 15 and 16-year-old kid will do that. Not until they're 25 after they've had that experience. Today I'll send you a photo of a kid that won his first medal at our meet at the weekend, but he's autistic, right? He's autistic, and there's I didn't know. It wasn't a posed picture. It was just the photographer they hired going around the pool, watching different people. And and it's come out quite nice. I got it last night. I just got my arm on him, chatting to him before he's going into his first final. What he has to do, right? Because I know the issues. It's not going to be, go on, just get up there and go. He's got to be given some cue words to try and get it right. And he wins a medal. And he does a big draw. But the photo is quite nice. If like he's right looking into my eyes, I'm looking right into his eyes. I got my arm on his shoulder. This is it, And everybody go, was he giving race instruction? No, we're just talking about this. Is what we have to do on the breathing. And he comes out and he goes on the podium and he gets his medal and they take photos of him. He's a bloody superhero now.
Beautiful.
And he's the little guy that I told you last week. He's raised $7,000 for the Cancer Society.
Awesome.
Right? And he's trying to get to 10. And he's just a beautiful kid. You just got to get into his world. That's the way I look at it, right? I don't think, I was probably the same at school. Nobody could get into my world. It was sort of like, some did. The music teacher did. The PA teacher did. The history teacher did. Got into my head and got me excited and passionate about those things. The rest of the guys, the math teachers and the science teachers, didn't have a clue, right? You'd either sit down, write this, do that. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, whoa, where's he coming from, right? There's a great song by Harry Shaffer, All the Colors of the Rainbow. Have you ever heard it?
I think so, yes.
Beautiful song, right? A beautiful song. And you go to the point of going, like, the teacher's giving him shit because he's painting everything the wrong color. But to the kid, it doesn't really matter. You ask me to paint. I'm painting flowers, I'm painting this, and I see it different than you.
Yes.
And it would be great, because that's what we're dealing with, right? That's what we're dealing with. Not everybody sees it the same. But we have to try, like he says in the song, keep that kid interested in the heart, because he's showing something. I have two friends. I have one friend works at the Royal Art Gallery in London, fixing the old masters, which is a really skillful job. And I have another friend that paints abstract, and some stuff looks like, I'll be honest, it looks like some of the paintings sometimes that were done in the Nazi camps, right? Like on the walls and stuff. Like you're going like, and he had this opening in Vancouver a few years ago. Most of his stuff goes to Japan. And there was a book there, like you sign it. And one of the coaches that had been there wasn't with me a few days before. They'd been there to see him. We all support him every now and then. And he goes, I think you've been sniffing too much chlorine. It was a great comment.
Time went by like it always does, and they moved to another town.
Listen to the tune that Barry enjoys on YouTube by going to tinyurl.com HON flowers. That's slash HON for heavy or not, and then flowers, FLOWERS. So it's tinyurl.com/HON flowers. Enjoy.